Welcome back, everyone. Or should I say, welcome back to our little chat about the future of work with AI. Jordan, have you ever scrolled through tech news and just felt like you were watching a boxing match? Oh, absolutely, Alex, especially lately. Every other headline feels like it's pitting one giant against another. Exactly. Here's the interesting thing. A lot of those headlines make it seem like ChatGPT and Google Labs are locked in some kind of epic Clash of the Titans battle, right? But honestly, as a friend, that whole narrative, it's often just noise. I think we need to forget that dramatic competitive story for a moment. That's a great point. It's easy to get caught up in the hype of who's winning, right? Instead, let's look at them not as rivals, but as a dynamic duo. Think of ChatGPT, our familiar friend, as your ultimate Hagoan Serbasisa. I like to call it the Swiss Army knife for your brain. Need a quick idea, a snappy dialogue, a first draft for an email in seconds? ChatGPT is right there, cutting through the clutter, giving you that instant spark. Hagoan Serbasisa, I love that. And the Swiss Army knife analogy is perfect. I totally get that instant ideation, the creative burst it can provide. It's my go-to for brainstorming when I'm staring at a blank page. Precisely. Now, on the other side of this powerful partnership, we have Google Labs, specifically something like Notebook LM. And this tool, it's not trying to be a generalist at all. Imagine having your own personal, super-powered librarian who has meticulously read, understood, and cross-referenced every single document you've ever given them. That's Notebook LM. It's the ultimate research specialist, diving deep into your specific knowledge base. Wow, a super-powered personal librarian. So while ChatGPT is excellent for generating new ideas or content quickly, Notebook LM sounds like it's all about making sense of your existing information. That's a huge distinction. It is. So the million-dollar question isn't which one should I pick. You and I know that's the wrong way to look at it. The real key, my friend, is understanding when to use which one for maximum impact and effectiveness in your work. It's about synergy, not supremacy. That's the nugget right there, isn't it? It's not an either-or situation. It's a how do these complement each other question. Getting strategic about it. Exactly. And this brings us to a really exciting point. Welcome to the era of applied AI. It's no longer just about the flashy tech, it's about the art, the skill of harnessing each unique tool for the precise task it's best suited for. It's about you becoming the maestro of your AI orchestra, Jordan, orchestrating these powerful tools into a beautiful, productive symphony. Maestro of your AI orchestra. I love that imagery, Alex. It really shifts the perspective from being overwhelmed by tech to empowering us to lead with it. It's about intelligent application.
Jordan, kita semua pasti tahu ChatGPT kan?
Oh tentu, siapa sih yang nggak kenal? Udah kayak selebriti rockstar mendadak gitu.
Persis. Satu hari dipuja-puja karena bisa bikin puisi sampai kode program secepat kilat. Tapi hari berikutnya, langsung dicurigai. Dituduh mau mengambil pekerjaan kita. Atau parahnya, menuliskan pidato penguburan kita.
Haha, iya langsung panik berjamaah.
Singkatnya, ia itu anak baru di sekolah yang sekaligus juara kelas dan yang dicurigai sebagai dalang di balik semua alarm kebakaran mendadak. Betul kan?
Haha, analogi alarm kebakaran itu pas banget, Alex. Betul sekali. Ini kan yang sering bikin orang panik dan langsung mikir, wah tamat sudah kita. Tapi, mari kita tarik nafas sejenak.
Oke.
Meski ChatGPT jadi pusat perhatian, fokus utama kita di Applied AI itu bukan tentang membiarkan mesin mengambil alih orkestra loh.
Oh, jadi bukan tentang AI yang jadi dirijennya, tapi
Justru ini tentang bagaimana kita bisa menjadikan AI sebagai roadies terbaik yang pernah ada. Bayangin, kita ingin AI jadi kopilot super cerdas yang mengurus semua tugas membosankan, analisis data segunung, dan menemukan pola tersembunyi.
jadi kita, sang pilot manusia, bisa fokus pada penerbangan yang strategis, kreatif, dan mendaratkan pesawat di tujuan yang tepat.
Exactly. Ibaratnya, AI membuat kita jadi superhero, bukan mengganti kita dengan cyborg. Bukan mengganti, tapi memberdayakan.
Nah, ini yang penting. Jadi pertanyaan besarnya bukan lagi siapa yang menang ya.
Betul, melainkan bagaimana kita semua bisa menang. Ini bukan pertarungan hidup mati antara manusia dan mesin.
Tapi tentang mencari titik temu yang sempurna. Sebuah tarian tango yang harmonis.
Tepat sekali, di mana AI mengangkat beban berat dan mengerjakan hal-hal repetitif, sementara manusia membawa kreativitas, empati, dan kecerdasan strategis yang tak bergantikan.
Aku suka banget analogi tarian tango itu. Jadi tujuannya adalah membangun kolaborasi di mana kedua belah pihak bersinar, menciptakan sesuatu yang jauh lebih spektakuler daripada yang bisa dicapai sendirian.
Betul sekali, Alex. Anggap saja AI adalah asisten dapur yang super efisien dan Anda adalah koki bintang Michelin. Hasilnya, menu yang luar biasa, pasti.
Baiklah Jordan, mari kita selami dunia ChatGPT. Apa itu sebenarnya?
Oke Alex, pertanyaan bagus. Singkatnya, bayangkan kamu punya seorang asisten super cerdas yang otaknya terbuat dari jutaan data dan algoritma. Dan yang paling penting, dia itu seorang maestro kata-kata.
Maestro kata-kata. Jadi bukan sekadar kamus berjalan gitu.
Bukan sama sekali. Lebih tepatnya, dia itu semacam chef bahasa berbasis artificial intelligence. Dia bisa meracik kalimat, ide, bahkan cerita dengan kecepatan kilat, siap menyajikan hidangan linguistik sesuai permintaanmu.
Wow, chef bahasa. Menarik sekali. Lalu, fokus utamanya dia untuk apa? Apa yang dia paling jago lakukan?
Fokus utamanya, dia itu jagoan mutlak untuk semua hal yang berbau teks. Benar-benar ahli di bidang itu.
Oh, jadi kalau ada urusan teks, misalnya?
Dari bantu kamu nulis email yang killer, bikin ide-ide konten yang out of the box, sampai meringkas tumpukan dokumen setinggi gunung dalam hitungan detik. Ibaratnya, kalau ada pekerjaan yang melibatkan kata-kata dan keyboard, dia itu seperti sous chef kamu.
Sous chef. Jadi dia bisa melakukan angkat beban pekerjaan verbal kita.
Persis, dia siap melakukan angkat beban di arena verbal, bahkan membantu merumuskan apa yang mungkin belum terpikirkan olehmu.
Ini kedengarannya seperti alat yang sangat powerful, Jordan. Tapi pasti ada batasannya, kan?
Nah, ini poin yang sangat-sangat penting, Alex. Ingat satu hal, ChatGPT ini bukan pengganti otakmu.
Bukan pengganti, maksudnya?
Dia itu co-pilot yang cerdas, bukan kapten pesawatnya. Dia bisa kasih ide, bantu merapikan, bahkan nulis draft awal. Tapi sentuhan akhir, arah, dan jiwa dari pekerjaan itu tetap ada di tanganmu.
Ah, saya mengerti. Jadi kendali tetap di kita sebagai pengemudi ya.
Tepat sekali. Ibaratnya, dia itu mobil sport super cepat, tapi kamu tetaplah sang pengemudi yang menentukan tujuan dan kemana arahnya. Jadi, jangan biarkan dia berpikir untukmu, biarkan dia berpikir bersamamu.
Jangan biarkan dia berpikir untukku, biarkan dia berpikir bersamaku. Itu kunci utamanya. Terima kasih banyak Jordan, penjelasan yang sangat jelas.
Oke, mari kita mulai dengan yang satu ini. Applied AI itu simpelnya AI yang turun ke lapangan. Maksudnya, bukan cuma keren di jurnal penelitian atau diagram rumit, tapi AI yang ikut kerja bakti, pakai sendal jepit, dan bantu nyelesain masalah di dunia nyata.
Oh, I see. Jadi fokusnya ke implementasi praktis ya, bukan cuma teori di atas kertas.
Persis. Dan nah, ini dia rahasianya. Nilai sebenarnya dari AI itu bukan di seberapa wah algoritma atau seberapa deep learning-nya, tapi di bagaimana kita menggunakannya.
Menarik. Ibaratnya punya spatula berlapis emas tapi buat ngaduk semen ya percuma kan?
Betul sekali. AI yang paling canggih sekalipun, kalau cuma jadi pajangan digital, ya nggak ada gunanya.
Jadi intinya relevansi itu the real MVP ya?
Nah, itu dia poinnya. Apakah AI ini beneran jadi solusi buat masalah yang spesifik? Apakah dia beneran nyambung sama kebutuhan audiens kita? Kalau nggak relevan, AI sehebat apapun cuma jadi inovasi keren yang nggak ada yang pakai.
Got it. Jadi mikirnya bukan bisa apa AI ini, tapi masalah apa yang bisa diselesaikan AI ini. Itu mindset yang harus dipegang teguh ya.
Baik Jordan, udah siap buat bedah tuntas potensi ChatGPT ini dengan gaya ala presentasi agensi kreatif yang penuh semangat dan sedikit guyon? Aku udah nggak sabar nih.
Siap Alex, aku suka energinya. Oke, jadi kita mau petakan penggunaan ChatGPT ini kan? Dimulai dari mana nih?
Kita mulai dari yang paling fundamental deh Jordan, pendidikan. Ini kan bisa bantu proses belajar dan mengajar banget, bener nggak?
Betul banget. Bayangin aja Alex, kita punya guru les privat yang sabar 24/7. Atau asisten pengajar yang bisa ngejelasin konsep paling rumit jadi semudah menjentikan jari. ChatGPT itu ibaratnya otak kedua bagi siswa dan guru. Dia bisa bantu kita mendalami materi, merangkum pelajaran, bahkan membuat kuis interaktif yang bikin belajar nggak lagi jadi beban.
Nah, ini poin pentingnya. Mendampingi, bukan menggantikan. Jadi, proses belajar mengajar kita bisa jauh lebih wow dari sebelumnya. Itu kuncinya ya.
Exactly, itu poin kuncinya.
Oke, dari ruang kelas, kita geser ke perpustakaan atau lab riset nih. Gimana dengan ranah riset dan akademik?
Ini pasti juga krusial banget.
Ah, ini favorit para akademisi dan peneliti yang akrab dengan tumpukan jurnal dan deadline yang mencekik. ChatGPT ini seperti asisten riset yang minum kopi super espresso.
Haha, kopi super espresso. Mantap analoginya.
Dia bisa menyaring lautan informasi, membantu menyusun kerangka penulisan, bahkan menemukan benang merah di antara data yang ruwet bin rumit. Tapi disclaimer penting nih Alex, bukan untuk mencontek ide ya. Ini lebih seperti ghostwriter cerdas untuk bagian yang paling membosankan, sehingga Anda bisa fokus pada insight yang brilian dan tak tertandingi.
Menarik banget. Jadi dia bantu nge-organize dan memproses, bukan menggantikan pemikiran kritis kita ya. Next, ini pasti relate sama banyak orang, bisnis dan profesional.
Di dunia bisnis yang serba cepat ini, waktu adalah uang Alex. Dan ChatGPT ini adalah mesin peningkat efisiensi yang luar biasa. Tapi bukan mesin cetak uang loh ya.
Haha, penting banget disclaimer itu.
Ini tuh Swiss Army knife digital kita. Dari menyusun email yang persuasif, menyiapkan laporan kilat, sampai merancang strategi pemasaran awal yang mengagumkan. Anggap saja Anda punya asisten pribadi yang nggak pernah cuti, nggak pernah minta THR, dan siap siaga 24/7. Produktivitas tim Anda bisa melesat seperti roket menuju bulan.
Wow, deskripsinya bikin aku langsung pengen punya asisten kayak gitu. Nah, terakhir nih, yang paling seru buat aku pribadi, kreativitas. Kadang kan suka mentok idenya.
Betul, dan untuk kita semua yang sesekali kehabisan ide, merasa stuck di tengah jalan kreatif, ChatGPT ini adalah muse digital yang selalu ada.
Muse digital, aku suka istilah itu.
Dia bukan pencipta ide utama Alex, tapi lebih seperti teman brainstorming yang punya jutaan data di kepalanya, siap memantik percikan inspirasi baru. Butuh ide nama produk unik, slogan yang catchy, atau alur cerita yang anti-mainstream? Ajak saja ChatGPT ngopi-ngopi virtual. Dijamin ide-ide liar Anda bakal terbang lebih tinggi menuju galaksi kreativitas.
Asik, jadi kayak punya teman diskusi yang super pintar dan gak pernah bosan ya. Ini benar-benar membuka banyak pintu, Jordan. Makasih banyak udah ngejelasin dengan gaya sekreatif ini.
Sama-sama Alex, senang bisa berbagi.
Baik Jordan, jadi saya sudah siapkan catatan ini untuk presentasi saya. Semuanya tentang konsep solusi win-win ini. Saya coba buat gaya bahasanya ceria dan pakai metafora cerdas biar lebih menarik.
Oh, kedengarannya menarik. Apa ide besarnya?
Nah, intinya adalah mengubah cara kita mendekati produktivitas dan pembelajaran untuk berbagai kelompok. Kita mulai dari dosen-dosen kita yang luar biasa ya. Bayangkan saja, persiapan materi kuliah nggak lagi mirip ekspedisi mencari Atlantis di dalam laptop mereka.
Itu analogi yang pas sekali. Saya bisa banget relate sama kegiatan ekspedisi arkeologi digital itu.
Kan? Jadi solusinya adalah mengubah gudang digital mereka menjadi galeri seni yang tertata rapi. Mereka akan jadi koki super efisien, meracik materi tanpa drama. Dengan begitu, mereka punya lebih banyak energi untuk sparking joy di ruang kelas, bukan malah sparking panic saat mencari file.
Itu masuk akal sekali. Waktu yang dulu habis untuk main petak umpet dengan silabus lama, kini bisa dipakai untuk katakanlah nge-gym atau mikir ide brilian lainnya.
Tepat sekali. Ini bakal jadi perubahan besar bagi mereka. Sekarang mari kita beralih ke para mahasiswa yang siap jadi pahlawan di dunia akademik. Ini bukan lagi era belajar pasif yang cuma nunggu disuapin.
Saya suka itu, memberdayakan mereka.
Betul sekali. Solusi ini tuh kayak upgrade super untuk otak mereka. Mereka bakal jadi kapten dari kapal ilmu mereka sendiri, bukan sekadar penumpang. Lebih mandiri, lebih kritis, dan akhirnya lebih ngeh sama apa yang dipelajari.
Jadi ini semacam gym untuk mental mereka. Melatih otot-otot berpikir sampai jadi super fit dan siap menaklukkan ujian. Dan bahkan dunia.
Kamu mengerti maksud saya. Ini semua tentang membekali mereka untuk mengambil alih kendali. Dan terakhir, untuk para profesional di luar sana yang sehari-hari berjibaku dengan deadline dan multitasking ala ninja, ini adalah kunci rahasia Anda.
Wah, ceritakan lebih lanjut. Itu kedengarannya seperti sesuatu yang dibutuhkan semua orang.
Memang begitu. Anda nggak cuma akan jadi lebih produktif, tapi juga pilot yang selalu pegang kemudi, bukan sekadar penumpang yang diombang-ambing jadwal. Ini tentang menjadi maestro strategi yang lincah, menyelesaikan tumpukan kerjaan tanpa kehilangan visi besar.
Jadi seperti upgrade sistem navigasi di kapal mereka, jadi Anda bisa berlayar cepat dan tepat, mencapai tujuan tanpa nabrak karang di tengah jalan.
Persis begitu. Kontrol strategi tetap di tangan Anda, sambil semua tugas kecil beres dengan sendirinya. Ini benar-benar solusi win-win untuk semua pihak yang terlibat.
Alright, Jordan, today we're diving into something that's a real brain teaser when it comes to AI, what we cleverly call AI hallucination. It's essentially the AI's wild imagination running amok. And honestly, it can be a real party pooper when you're desperate for hard facts.
Oh, absolutely. Party pooper is the perfect term.
You go in expecting solid information, and then, well, you get something completely unexpected, right? Like it's just making stuff up.
Exactly. And the first place you often see this is with bibliographies. You ask for a solid research paper, expecting well-cited sources, and it confidently hands you this beautiful list of books and articles. The catch, many of them exist only in its digital dreams.
Wait, so it just invents citations? Like whole articles that don't even exist? That's astonishingly confident.
It is. Or sometimes they do exist, but if you look them up, they say something completely different from what the AI claimed. It's like having this incredibly charming dinner guest at your table, just making up facts on the fly, sounding utterly convincing while doing it. You'd never suspect.
Oh, I know that dinner guest. So you're saying it's not just a little off, it's fabricating sources wholesale. That's a serious problem for anyone doing, actual research.
Precisely. And it doesn't stop there. Think about data. You ask for a precise report, expecting granular detail, and the AI whips up numbers that look impeccably detailed, complete with charts and graphs.
Oh no, don't tell me.
Yep. The catch, those figures might be as real as a unicorn riding a skateboard.
A unicorn riding a skateboard. I love that analogy because it perfectly captures that sense of it looks real, but
Exactly. It's not necessarily lying per se. It's more like a highly imaginative storyteller who's just filling in the blanks. It creates data that perfectly fits the narrative it's trying to present, but it might not, actually correspond to reality. And the scary part is how convincing those detailed charts and graphs can be.
That's where it gets dangerous, right? Because you're looking at something that appears to be quantitative, objective truth, and it's actually just a compelling story. So what's the kicker you mentioned earlier? Because this all sounds pretty wild already.
The kicker, Jordan, is the arguments themselves. The AI can construct a logical, compelling, even beautifully articulated case for something that is fundamentally wrong.
Fundamentally wrong? How can it be logical and compelling if it's wrong?
It's like watching a brilliant lawyer deliver an Oscar-worthy closing statement. They're eloquent, persuasive, they've got you completely hooked, only to discover later that their entire defense was based on a fictional law from a made-up country. The reasoning sounds airtight, the conclusions feel inevitable, but the whole magnificent structure is built on a foundation of pure, unadulterated imagination.
Wow. So it's not just making up facts or data, it's building entire sophisticated arguments on a completely false premise. And because the structure of the argument is sound, you could easily be led astray.
Absolutely. It's incredibly persuasive imagination, mind you. And that's really the core of AI hallucination across all these forms. The confidence and the coherence with which it presents information that just isn't grounded in fact. All right, Jordan. Now we're getting to the main course. How do we, as critical users, actually conquer AI?
And by conquer, we don't mean in a way that's about suppressing it or fighting against it, right? More like making it work for us?
Exactly. It's more about optimizing it so this super smart creation works exactly how we want it to. I've got 3 killer tips for that.
Lay 'em on me. I'm ready to take notes.
First up, you know that old saying, garbage in, garbage out? Well, with AI, sometimes it's more like vague in, generic out.
Oh, I've definitely experienced that. You type something quick, and the output is just underwhelming.
Think of AI as your super smart, super literal personal barista. If you just say, make me coffee, it might just give you a cup of hot water with raw coffee beans in it. Not exactly inspiring, right?
Definitely not what I had in mind for my morning fix.
But if you say, could I get a double espresso, a splash of oat milk, thick foam, and please make sure there's a heart-shaped latte art on top, that is when you get a masterpiece. The more detail and precision you fill AI's tank with, the more Ferrari-like the output you'll get. So don't be lazy with your prompts.
That makes so much sense. It's like the effort you put in up front really dictates the quality of what you get out.
Absolutely. All right, tip number 2. AI is brilliant, absolutely brainy, but sometimes it has a knack for being an excellent storyteller, as in making things up.
The hallucination problem. I've heard about that.
Precisely. It's not because it's malicious, but more because it's too eager to please us. It might create facts or sources that would make even Stephen King jealous.
So it's trying to be helpful, but ends up being creatively inaccurate.
Exactly. Think of AI like your uncle who tells exciting, dramatic stories about his experiences in World War II. They're thrilling, but you know deep down you need to cross-check them with actual history.
Classic. We all have that uncle.
Exactly. Always ask AI to show you its ticket to the source. Then we become the private detectives to make sure that ticket is valid and not a Photoshop job. Don't get swayed by fancy visuals and sophisticated fiction, okay?
That's a crucial point, especially when we're relying on AI for research or important information. Always verify, verify, verify.
And finally, this is the most crucial one. AI is not your boss, and it's certainly not God.
Couldn't agree more. The hype can sometimes make it seem almost omnipotent.
Right? It's more like a super reliable co-pilot on your plane.
Oh, I like that analogy. It frames it perfectly.
It can identify weather patterns, give you the fastest route, even take over the controls when you need a break. But the main pilot, the captain who bears full responsibility for a smooth landing, that's still you.
So it's there to assist and optimize, but the ultimate decision-making power remains with the human.
Exactly. Use AI as a brilliant discussion partner, a meticulous reviewer, or an assistant who never takes a day off. But never, ever hand over the car keys to it and expect it to drive you to your final destination all by itself, especially if that destination involves the future of your business. The control always remains firmly in your hands.
That's such a powerful takeaway. It really frames AI as a tool for empowerment, not replacement. Excellent tips, Alex.
Glad you think so, Jordan.
All right, Jordan, let's dive into something really crucial today, AI in our work, especially when it comes to the ethical considerations.
Absolutely, Alex. It's such a hot topic right now, and I think a lot of people are still figuring out the best practices.
Exactly. So let's start with transparency. We're way past the point where we can secretly use AI, kind of like sneaking a piece of chocolate cake in the middle of the night and then pretending we don't know who finished it.
Great analogy. So if you're using AI, just declare it. Don't treat it like some hidden ghost in the machine, right?
Precisely. We should see AI as our sophisticated co-pilot, not some shadowy figure behind the scenes. Be honest, be upfront so everyone knows this is our hard work with a little bit of smart assistance on the side.
That builds so much more trust and credibility. It leaves no room for doubt about the authenticity of the effort.
Absolutely. And that leads us directly to accountability. Remember, AI is like a super smart assistant or even a really skilled sous chef.
Yeah, it can help prepare ingredients, maybe even whip up some initial ideas.
Exactly. But we are still the head chef in this academic or creative kitchen. If the dish comes out burnt or the flavor's just not quite right, we can't just say, oh, it was the AI's fault.
That's such a critical point. The ultimate responsibility, whether it's for soaring praise or deep corrections, rests squarely on our shoulders. We're the captain of the ship, not just a passenger who blames the GPS when we get lost.
Spot on. It's about owning the outcome, no matter what.
And that brings us to the pinnacle, which for me is integrity. This is the secret sauce that really gives our work its soul.
Totally. AI can be an incredibly sophisticated copy-paste machine. It can churn out beautifully structured sentences.
But it can't inject genuine originality or the depth of thought that comes authentically from us, that unique DNA in our work.
Precisely. We need to make sure our work has that unique fingerprint, not just a collection of perfectly arranged sentences by an algorithm. We want work that's valid, original, and truly proves our critical thinking is the main star, not just a robot sidekick.
Absolutely. It's about demonstrating that human ingenuity and insight are still paramount. AI is a powerful tool, but it's our tool to wield responsibly.
Couldn't agree more. All right, Jordan, and to everyone listening, let's dive into something really exciting today. We've got a slide here that says, Colaboración ideal, manusia plus AI.
Ooh, intriguing. And I'm guessing we're leaving the whole robots taking over the world movie plot behind for this discussion?
Exactly. Forget that narrative for a second. We're actually talking about a dream team here. Think of it like the perfect dynamic duo, ready to conquer any challenge.
I like the sound of that. So what's our role in this grand dance then? The humans.
That's the key question. I like to think of humans as the ultimate art directors, or even the grand chefs of the future. We're the ones bringing the vision, setting the direction, and crucially, baking in all the meaning.
So like AI could whip up 1,000 perfectly symmetrical cookie designs, but we're the ones who decide if it's a cookie for a birthday party, a protest, or just a Tuesday afternoon craving.
Precisely. We hold the control panel for the why and the what for. The intention, the context, that's all us.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So if we're the grand chefs, what's AI in this kitchen?
AI, that's our super-powered sous chef, our personal fleet of tireless interns, or maybe even a hyper-efficient army of clones, without any of the ethical dilemmas, thankfully.
Good point on the clones.
Seriously, though, AI brings the rocket fuel for speed, the magic wand for scale, and the precision surgery for efficiency. It crunches numbers faster than you can say big data, processes information like a caffeinated lightning bolt, and essentially takes care of all the heavy lifting and repetitive tasks, so we don't have to.
So it frees us up to do the more human, visionary stuff you were talking about earlier. That's fantastic.
Absolutely. Ultimately, this isn't a battle royale, you know? It's more like a beautifully choreographed pasta do. It's not human versus AI, it's human plus AI.
A true partnership, then, where each side just amplifies the other.
Exactly. It creates something far greater than either could achieve alone. Think of it as your brain meeting its ultimate turbocharger. It's a win-win, Jordan, and frankly, it's just smarter.
Yeah, way smarter than trying to go it alone, or even worse, fearing the tech. This sounds like the future I want to be part of.
Hey, Jordan. So we're diving into the power of applied AI is in your hands today, right? I want to kick things off with something I think we often forget.
Oh, I'm ready. Lay it on me. What's the big takeaway to start with?
It's that humans are the masterminds. We are the brains, the soul, the intuition behind everything. Think of us like the architects on a massive, ambitious project. We're the ones designing the blueprints, defining the style, and really envisioning how that space will feel.
That's such a great way to put it. AI, no matter how brilliant, can't feel or dream up entirely new things from scratch. That's our domain, isn't it? The thinkers, the visionaries.
Exactly. We're the ones with those wild, game-changing ideas. Even something as mundane as figuring out how to eat Indomie with both chopsticks and a fork at the same time. That kind of out-of-the-box thinking, that's us.
Totally. So once the architect, which is us, has that blueprint, that's when AI steps in, right? It's like this super sophisticated construction team.
Spot on. And not just sophisticated, but it literally never takes a break and doesn't need coffee. AI is like this giant research team that can read millions of books in seconds, or a personal assistant that handles all those repetitive, boring tasks with incredible precision.
Yeah, it's the ultimate driving machine that transforms our ideas into reality. It frees up our time and energy so we can really focus on the things that absolutely need that human touch. If we're the master chef, AI is that incredible sous chef, chopping vegetables, prepping ingredients, and making sure the oven's hot right on time.
I love that analogy. And this, my friend, is where the real magic happens. It's at that intersection of brilliant human thought and the boundless efficiency of AI. This isn't about humans versus machines or machines taking over our jobs.
No, it's a symphony. We're the ones writing the score and conducting, while AI plays every single note perfectly and tirelessly.
Precisely. When we combine our intuition, our empathy, and our creativity with AI's speed, its scale, and its analytical power, we're not just doing tasks faster or better, we're actually creating entirely new value, innovations that were once just dreams, and solutions that can genuinely change the world, one brilliant idea at a time.
So it really comes back to us, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The power of applied AI is truly in your hands to create all of that.